Hey, I'm Jeremy, and if you're watching this video, it's obvious that you are ready to man up. That you recognize that there's an incredible opportunity to have greater impact in your family, at work, and in our communities, especially the fatherless. But that's not going to happen. The mission's not going to get accomplished if you're chasing confidence as a leader. Instead, we got to lead with courage. And so before I jump into today's message with you, I want to talk a little bit about this idea around growth. You see, growth doesn't rely on motivation. It can't. And whether it's this message here, whether it's the message of any speakers that you're going to hear and learn from in ManUp, they're going to get you excited, going to get you jacked up, feeling charged. That's just a feeling. It's kind of like a good sermon that you hear on Sunday, but you forget it by Wednesday. But you do remember, wow, that preacher made me feel alive. But that doesn't actually mean that you've grown. You see, growth doesn't rely just on motivation. Growth requires truth, trust, and self-discipline. Truth, trust, and self-discipline. All improvement starts with the truth. So let's just jump right in and be truthful. The majority of men in leadership positions, the truth is they're not leaders. Whether it's their skill set, whether it's their decisions, whether it's their behaviors, they're not leaders. Instead, they're more managers. Managers won't get the job done, though. We have to have better leadership, and leadership starts with good judgment of ourselves and of others and for others. So how do we shift? How do we shift from this idea of us as men being managers of our household, managers in our roles at work, managers of the community at large, which we don't probably do a great job of? Well, it starts with understanding this. Winning leaders do this part first. They connect. You see, connection trumps communication. You can say connection drives communication. You have to have both. They play nice in the sandbox together. But communication alone has a low ceiling effect. And everybody likes to chase the opportunity to be a better communicator. But connection trumps communication. Connection allows you and me to build those relationships so strong that they can actually bear the weight of any truth. Let me share some differences with you between connection and communication. Communication is me using language about what I want from you. Connection is me using language about what I want for you. And in most instances, most experiences, most events where people are around you, the language that you use probably tends to be more about what I want from you than what I want for you. Communication leads with statements. Connection leads with questions. Communication is about what I can get. Connection is about what I can give. Connection creates the space that allows for the word no, which leads to a healthy culture that's based on alignment. Not a toxic culture that's solely based on agreement like we have and what's going on in our world today. In just about every facet and every variable and every domain of life. So what do? How do you become a better connector? Well, let me give you 4 quick ways. I'm going to give you a framework with these 4 quick steps to help you starting today to be a better connector. And that's know, choose, grow, and share. Now that's got to start with you personally. You got to know yourself. You got to choose you. And I work with way too many leaders around the world in sports and in business who they shortchange themselves, which means they shortchange those that follow them because they don't choose themselves unconditionally. They look at and try to compare themselves to others, and they try to put in what God left out. You got to know yourself. You got to choose yourself. You got to grow. And then you got to share. As a husband, as a father, Know your child, choose your child, grow with your child. You got to model what you expect and then share those experiences with your child. Know, choose, grow, and share. You know, if you're looking for an example of how to do that as a leader, if you're a believer, if you're a Christian like I am, we've got the best example ever, and that's Jesus Christ. And here's the deal. When things go dark, that's when leaders are supposed to shine the most. When things get tough, that's when leaders are supposed to get hungry. They're not supposed to hide. And after 25 years of being in high performance, been blessed, been fortunate enough to be able to coach personally now over 50 world champions and Olympic medalists. And working with the greatest athletes, working with the greatest leaders in a variety of sports from 6 countries around the world, with great leaders in business around this country, one of the most common denominators comes down to this one guiding principle that I want to share with you that's going to help you become an incredible connector. And that's this, is to live life in such a way that if your presence doesn't make an impact, your absence won't make a difference. Right? If your presence doesn't make an impact, your absence won't make a difference. So who in your life needs you to be a better connector? Who in your life needs you to step up with courage, be bolder, be braver, get better so you can connect? And the way that you connect with your wife, your family, and the way that you connect with the community, even those relationships that make you uncomfortable. That's why you have to lead with courage. You can't chase confidence, or else you'll never step into those types of relationships that make you uncomfortable in the community. You got to be able to do it. What's at stake if you don't connect? Well, at home, the answer is pretty simple. If you just communicate at home and you don't connect, then you're not preparing your children to handle anything that life's going to throw their way when they get older. That's not a story worth telling. What's at stake if you don't connect in the community, especially to the fatherless in this community? Well, what's at stake? Again, it's pretty simple. They will continue to be unprepared for what life is going to throw their way. The calling is there. The message is simple. The time is right now. You, me, all of us as men, it's time for us to man up.